just had a really nice conversation on
A
Apple chargers
great,
and why they.
yeah, great
I mean, shit.
conversation.
I could like low key. That's one of those things where it's like if I can give a random TED talk, like a 5-minute TED talk on anything, I can definitely explain why Apple went back in time with their laptop ports and getting rid of all of the freaking USB ports. I can definitely give a 5-minute TED
Yeah, I'm
talk.
not gonna lie. The two USB-C ports like that they've been running with for most of their laptops for like the last couple of years was not the move. I need more than one port on my laptop because I would know one of them is going to be constantly plugged in.
Yeah, and I like the old laptop. I guess it's not really that big of a problem because of how popular AirPods are. But did it even have like an aux plug-in?
It did. I think they always have.
Okay.
They always have that.
Oh, okay. I was gonna be. I wouldn't be surprised if you need to buy an adapter to listen to use headphones on your laptop.
Well, no, you have to buy a dongle. That's what it is. You have to buy an inverse dongle.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Yeah,
of course.
So
whatever you can make money with, that's what you do.
I mean, I understand why they actually did it. They want you to just they thought to themselves, we're Apple. It doesn't matter if we get rid of all the ports. Everyone will still buy our shit, and then they'll just buy the adapters. I get their logic. Yep.
Fraud alert. There we go.
They're going to arrest Tim Cook right now. They're going to go get his ass right now. All right. Don't worry about it, guys. They're always listening. But,
but also, I'll just one last comment, by the way. They inadvertently fucked themselves. Apple inadvertently fucked themselves by starting to use USB-C ports. Now, because now their phones are legally required to have USB-C ports after like all the next phones. The next phone has to have a USB-C port. Like they fucked themselves.
Yeah, they're becoming
no more fucking easy ass money for them getting that fucking the bullshit ass Apple phone charger.
Yeah, I mean this
piece of shit
charger thing.
This piece of shit,
and everyone has off-brand chargers anyway. No one actually owns an
you think that this is an Apple charger? Nah, this shit breaks after like 2 months of using.
Literally breaks after 15. Tim
fraud
Cook,
alert! Fraud alert!
Coming, Tim Cook.
This shit, dude. This shit was.
We can't fuck you. Damn it! You got to blur out both of those. We can't cuss in the first 10 minutes.
Fuck.
Bad for YouTube.
No, but this.
Now you just cussed too. That's 3. All right. See.
This was $15. It came in a pack of 6, and they're 6-foot long cables.
I mean,
that's called off-brand superiority.
No, yeah, off-brand superiority until it breaks after 3 attempts, and like Apple programs it. So
and completely
if it isn't an Apple charger, it notices and like
and it completely messes up your phone. Yeah, great times.
Yeah, great pre-show intro, everyone. But what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a very special episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today it is episode number 88. All right, we got
legendary numbers.
We got deuces today. 88 episode. We're showing up. We're putting up a big time performance. This is my Des show. So I'm throwing up the X today. Now today, over the past 4 or 5 hours, we've had quite some Woj bombs. We're recording this on Tuesday. For our Thursday episode, we're recording this one on Tuesday, a little bit early.
And we'll inevitably miss some news on Wednesday.
Yeah, there'll be something crazy tomorrow. No, yeah, like there will be something nuts. But you know what? Hey.
Like Patrick Mahomes will retire tomorrow or something. Like I don't know.
Who fucking knows? But Sean Payton to the Broncos, D'Amico Ryans to the Texans, and Lamar Jackson franchise tagged by the Ravens.
You forgot the biggest news of the day. Adam Schefter and Ian Rapoport having disputed.
We have a source off.
We have a source off. People. And I am very opinionated on this source off.
Who got it in? I don't know.
But that segment will be coming later. I guarantee you, unless we forget.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll probably forget.
There's a good chance we will forget, and we'll be getting into this when we get into the NFL. But I have already flipped my Super Bowl pick already. It has been 2 days, since the last game happened.
Since we
recorded, I've already flipped picks. We'll probably flip 4 more times by the time the Super Bowl happens. But I've already flipped. So yeah, I know Everett wasn't happy to hear that, but hey, I'm gonna be honest.
So does that mean I don't know what you were picked on by the end of last episode? I'm not gonna lie.
I was on Chiefs. I wanted to take the refs, and I was saying, ever since me and you started bringing up trends and how the Dodgers have like lost every time, all those streaks been broken.
The streaks
so
broken.
I was like, I'm going to go with the refs. I'm going to go with Mahomes. I made a promise to myself when Mahomes came back against the Niners in the 2019 Super Bowl. I made a promise to myself. I will never bet against Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl ever again for the rest of my life. Then I broke that promise literally the year after and won. So everything is really, really in question. I'm now looking back to myself after watching that Niners Chiefs Super Bowl and thinking, was I an idiot or was I a genius when I said never fade Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl? We're going to find out after this one. If Patrick Mahomes goes 1 for 3 in Super Bowls, we can officially question Patrick Mahomes' ability to win a big time game. Is he a big time quarterback? I don't know.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. That's
I'm obviously kidding. I'm obviously messing, but no, I'll get into my reasoning for all that later.
It solely is because the Vikings lost to the Eagles this year. That is it.
No. That, trust me, that really, really influenced the whole vibes final cherry on top pick. Don't get me wrong. But we'll get into that later. First, some college football news today. Had some senior Pro Bowl action, watching some boys put on some performances out there. And the one name that everyone on Twitter has been raving over about, Ohio State right tackle Dawand Jones. He has been turning heads at the Senior Bowl practices and workouts. He is, let me just tell you his measurables, Everett. They're kind of hilarious. He's 6'8", 360 pounds, and he has an 89.5-inch wingspan, which is
might be taller than me.
Wingspan. Yeah, it's a 7'4" wingspan.
It's taller than me.
No, Everett, yeah, it is taller than you. 72 inches is 6.
I mean, I am
taller than you.
I am 6'8", so we are.
I forgot.
On a good day, on a bad day, it's 7 foot. So
Oh yeah, no, it goes opposite.
It goes opposite.
No, yeah, good days the shorter you are. But yeah, 89.5-inch wingspan set a record for the longest wingspan in Senior Bowl Day history. So not the longest wingspan in NFL history, but out of every Senior Bowl participant, the longest wingspan. So
it's gotta be close.
Gotta be up there.
It's gotta be up there.
If not, the largest in NFL history, it's gotta be up there.
Shit, like, what's Giannis's wingspan?
Literally, I was about to
say,
what is Giannis's fucking what's like Mo Bamba's wingspan? Like,
hold on, let's see. His wingspan is 7'3".
Yeah, Dawand's is bigger. Dawand has a 7'4" wingspan.
So his wingspan, for reference, this could be a good clip, by the way. And you should just reiterate this after I give you this info.
Actually, tell me this.
Giannis has a wingspan of 7'3". LeBron has a wingspan of 7 foot flat. KD has a wingspan of 7'5", so 1 inch longer.
And it's Kevin Durant.
It's Kevin Durant.
You'd expect that.
Now
you would assume he'd have a larger wingspan.
Yeah, I mean, anybody in basketball should have a larger wingspan. There was one more player I was gonna check. Okay.
Isn't like Steven Adams like crazy?
Yeah, it is. Hold on. Yeah. Let's see.
I think he has the
Steven
Adams.
Right now. Steven Adams is 7'5". So that's if he no, I don't think he has the longest because I think there was somebody in here that had the longest. Anthony Davis has a 7'6". But just for reference and what you can say, I mean,
yeah.
Bro, this dude has a longer wingspan than the average center in the NBA.
Yeah, no, like Dawand Jones has a larger wingspan than the average center in the NBA, has a larger wingspan than LeBron James, larger wingspan than Giannis, only shorter to Kevin Durant, and he's an offensive tackle, and wingspan is very, very important for tackles and getting their hands on D end. So, Everett, as our draft expert, when you do your rankings, are you more concerned with the ceiling or the floor of a player? Now, like Dawand Jones, the ceiling, you could say on paper, is through the roof just based off his measurables. But as a man who has had the pleasure to watch Dawand Jones every weekend for like the past 3 years, he is quite inconsistent. Fun fact, against Hutch last year against Michigan, he gave up 3 sacks. So there is that.
Yeah, so here's the deal. I What did you say his wingspan was?
89.5 inches, 7'4".
Okay. So it kind of made me think of the way you were talking about it, made me think of Alex Leatherwood. He had an 84 and 5/8 inch wingspan. So I mean, he's still a big dude. It's 5 inches less, which is, I mean, it's still a decent amount, but it's still 84 inches, essentially 85. So the way that I look at it is it's very dependent on the player, and it's dependent on where in the draft we're looking. So if we're talking at like position, so if we're talking about like Will Levis, all right, Anthony Richardson, these players that people think are very raw prospects talent wise, but they have incredible intangibles and they're going to show out in the combine, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Those players I expect to go up astronomically because they're quarterbacks. Now we're talking about a tackle. All right. You're looking at all the intangibles. You're looking at what you can develop him into, right? So when you think of a first round player, for the most part, especially in that first half, at least until you get the midway through the playoff teams, these are players that need to be making kind of immediate impacts.
Yeah.
It seems to me like from what you've talked about, he's going to need some developmental time. And if he starts next year, he most likely is not going to have a great start to the season. So from what it seems like to me, I would probably put him in the second round. So I think second round's really where you kind of have that differential, be like, all right, do I want to take a flyer on a guy because of talent, or do I want to try and get a guy for immediate contribution? But you still have those really high talented guys that you wouldn't find in later rounds because they have a higher likelihood of developing into a generational player. The issue is they're just raw, but they have all the intangibles. So that's kind of the difference between the first round and the second round. Is first round players have these intangibles. They have a high floor and a pretty good ceiling. Second round might be a low floor, but just as high or higher of a ceiling. So it's more of the flyers on that. So for me, I would probably put him in the second round, but knowing the way the NFL works, he will probably go in the first round, most likely at the end of the first round.
Yeah, no, I like 100% think this dude's gonna finagle his way late first.
Especially if he plays well in the Senior Bowl, and especially if he does well in the combine, not just like the combine itself, but the interviews. People forget that the interview, interview portion,
it's one of the most important like parts of the process.
The interview portion might honestly be the most important part of everything, because if you don't have a great combine showing, but you go into that room and you just blow everybody away, blow every team away, your stock still goes up no matter what happened at the actual combine. So I think that's the most important thing. And regardless of whether or not he shows up, I mean, like, people know what his intangibles are. So really, if I were him, I would focus on the interview part, because for him, it's just where you're getting drafted. He doesn't really care right now, I'm going to guess, about anything else.
I think it'll just be interesting to watch. Like, I was just kind of shocked when I initially first heard, like, there's rumors Dawand could go like 25-32 range.
So
my reaction was like,
I think there's also always players though that kind of just their stock just skyrockets near like the end of the pre-draft process. Like Trayvon Walker last year came out of nowhere, became the number 1 overall pick because of intangibles. Like, he's a pretty raw prospect. I mean, we both said, like, have you fucking heard anything about Trayvon Walker this year? Like, no, I fucking heard jack shit until the playoffs about him.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's because he was a raw prospect, but the talent that he had was so unbelievable in comparison to everybody else in the draft that he had to go that high, because the possibilities of where he could go were way higher than any of the other prospects. That's what could happen with I'm not going to lie. Thank you.
I think it could be a little bit of like a Mekhi Becton situation where like he was drafted really, really high, like pretty much just like purely on measurables and like potential. And correct me if I'm wrong, Everett, I'm not sure if Becton's the starting tackle for the Jets.
No, I think he got hurt. Hurt.
So,
but don't worry, he's an 85 overall in that. So,
yeah, I mean, that's all we care about.
And my starting right tackle.
and he's got a superstar development. So that's all we care about at the end of the day. That was my quick little comment on Senior Bowl day.
I do also, on Senior Bowl though, watch Dorian Williams and our boy Tajay Spears, Tulane, football players, the Green Wave, both of which I promise everybody they are going to show up, show out, impress people, impress scouts, impress coaches and GMs. Names to watch in the NFL draft, names to watch in the NFL, and names to watch in the Senior Bowl and the Combine.
Tajay Spears, he is your week 3 waiver wire pickup that will put you in the fantasy playoffs. Other news of college football, though. Today, Ohio State landed the number 10 overall player in the transfer portal and the highest ranked uncommitted player, freshman cornerback from Ole Miss. And I'm going to butcher his last name, so I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it. Davison. Freshman out of Ole Miss, corner. He was the highest ranked uncommitted player. And Ohio State, fun little fact, Everett. They on their spring practice roster, okay? I'm not sure the total number of scholarship players that they have on their team, but they have 14 wide receivers listed on their roster. However, they only have 31 total defensive players listed.
That seems problematic.
A little bit.
A little bit. Just a tiny bit.
So for reference,
they really said fuck Jim Knowles.
They got 31 dudes on defense right now. I'm pretty sure it's scholarship players. 31 scholarship players on defense, which is not
good.
Up to Ohio State standards. So Ohio State had to attack the portal. They land this corner. They land a safety. Those were big gets that they needed to get. A lot of guys are coming back on defense too. They're not really losing a lot. And the guys that they are losing, we could probably do without them. So I'm not that mad of who they're losing on defense. Ronnie Hickman. God, it was hilarious to watch you play, brother, but I can't wait to watch you third string for the fucking Colts. But this is a big time get. We attack the DB transfer portal. Ohio State has not done great in the transfer portal recently, so I'm giving a little shout for that. Now, time to shit on Ohio State recruiting.
Gotta warm up those vocal cords.
Yeah. So, startling fact of the day, number 1, Georgia and Alabama in the most recent recruiting cycle have almost the same amount of 5 stars committed to them as the Pac-12, Big 12, and ACC combined. So just Georgia and Alabama has almost as many 5 stars committed to just those 2 schools as 3 entire Power 5 conferences combined. Now let's get to the Big 10. The Big 10 as a collective organization and conference has 1 5-star player committed to the entire conference in the most recent recruiting cycle. So I don't know about you guys, but I think it's pretty fucking clear that not just Ohio State NIL, but Big 10 NIL in general is clearly falling way behind the SEC.
And that also, by the way, what one player, 1 5-star to Ohio State. How many 5 stars did USC get this year? 1, 2?
Pretty sure 2.
2.
Like that's unacceptable for Ohio State standard.
Considering also USC is about to be in the Big 10, you should not be getting out recruited by USC.
No, yeah, it's bad. It is a bad look. And to be fair, Ohio State and USC, even though USC got a linebacker from Louisiana over us, Tackett Curtis, who I met the other day.
You actually
on campus? Yeah.
How'd you?
I told you how I saw Jordan Addison scooting around with Crocs on. Right?
Yeah, he did. This was after he busted up his leg, wasn't it?
No, he was healthy.
Oh, okay.
No, that was Drake London. Drake London, after he broke his ankle, I saw him legitimately, like, I don't even know the fucking term. It was literally like one of those like cart rovers that you see like at a grocery store that they have. He was literally driving around in one of those, like with his boot on. I'm like, oh, what's up, Drake London?
What's up, bro? How's it going?
Yeah, man, you killed it out there like
that ankle
2 weeks
feeling
ago,
good,
man.
How's that ankle feeling? You think you're gonna be ready
How
for
high should I draft you in fantasy next year?
what pick is your agent telling you that you're gonna go? I'm just asking for a friend.
No, I'm just curious.
Just curious.
My dynasty league, we're drafting before the NFL draft, so could you give me an idea where you think you're gonna go? Like
that all might be a good fucking clip. I'm not gonna lie.
I saw Tack Hurst, said what's up, like, yo, what's up, man? Big fan, happy you went here over Ohio State, even though deep down you're like to Ohio State. But I can't tell him to his face. So I was like, hey man, happy you're here. Fuck those Buckeyes. Am I right or am I right? But USC and Ohio State, back to the point, not really in many recruiting battles. So I'm not necessarily like mad at it from like that direct angle, but it's just like Ohio State got their ass whooped by the SEC on the recruiting trails. Ass whooped. Every single big name guy thereafter all went to Bama. Fucking Caleb Downs, Keon Keeley, all of them. Richard Young. Bama landed 2 5-star running backs in this cycle. How the fuck is that even possible? How did 2 5-star running backs go to the same school?
And you know that I see that's the thing that's what I never fucking understand. Like, okay, sometimes I get that players go regardless because they want to be developed and they just
I get that.
They don't care. Like they're either going to be the starter or they get developed and they go to a different school. I understand that.
But running back?
But also,
go to Georgia, dude.
We did. To be fair, we did say that running back low key is one of the most important positions in college football. No. We did say that.
Yes.
But what I don't fucking understand is if you're
because of that, I'm saying go get your starting spot, bro.
If you're a 5-star running back and somebody's already beat you to the commitment for Alabama,
and also Alabama has some other 5-stars going to start over both of them next year anyway.
So if you're a 5-star and somebody's already beaten you to go to Bama, why the fuck are you not going to like Georgia or fucking Texas or some shit that develops running backs just as well? Like, I don't understand that.
I mean, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit, Alabama turns out NFL running backs literally like no other. And now I'm starting to think, but it's also just,
Alabama and Georgia both do though.
I do think though, at the end of the day, one of those dudes hitting the portal.
Obviously. And I understand.
I also think with the transfer portal, committing to Alabama your first spot isn't as big of a risk.
I understand. I understand because obviously, like, if you want to be developed by like a better coach or something, that get that, and you're there. You're essentially thinking that it's going to be your redshirt season. You're just going to learn, and then you're going to leave anyways. Yeah. I get that. Okay. What I don't understand though is like you're going to get less NIL money. You're not going to get playing time. You're going to have to go to the NFL later, which with NIL may or may not matter. No one likes that. May or may not.
No. I always think if you can go to the NFL, you go.
But what I can't understand is other programs that develop almost are just as good, and you're a 5-star, you can go anywhere you want. Why you're choosing to be the 3rd string on Bama?
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
I think it's really like I mean, as an Ohio State fan, I'm fucking pissed that they landed 2 5-stars.
Yeah,
like, I am heated.
Well, maybe one of them will be at Ohio State next year. You never know.
Hey, fingers crossed, buddy. I like that thinking, Everett. I like that thinking.
Okay, it was secret. It was a secret mission the whole time.
Oh yeah, I mean, we are still talking.
Ryan Day
coach every day.
Ryan Day told one of the 5-star running backs to go to Bama just to get
some inside info
and then go to Ohio State.
We got a fat NIL deal. Well, Ohio State doesn't have that NIL deal, but we got some shit ready for you. But no, yeah. NIL is just out of control. The Big Ten is just so unbelievably far behind the SEC. And it's just, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna swallow some pride here. It just means more in the SEC. It truly does. To those boosters and to those programs, football, it just fucking means more. And that's just the reality. That's just the reality of it. Football doesn't mean that much for Ohio State. And I mean that the school. I'm not talking the fan base. I mean the school. Football's not their prio number 1. So, all right. That's a little college football rant.
I have one last thing.
Shout out Davison and not shout out to, I also found out, I've been criticizing Cardell Jones a lot. Cardell Jones today went on local radio think Columbus, Ohio local radio and was like criticizing Ohio State for not helping them. So it like Cardell has been fighting back against the fans, yes, but he's also getting no support from the university. And those SEC schools, they are getting support from their universities for their collectives, which is the difference. But neither here nor there. Everett, what did you have on college football today?
So this is it kind of transition, I guess, to the NFL. We were talking about the Senior Bowl earlier. This relates to the NFL draft. This was from actually about 2.5 weeks ago. I noted this, never had a chance to bring it up, but now I do.
Okay.
This is from Jacob Infante. All right. He is a lead NFL draft analyst. He's a Bears writer.
Okay.
So he has credibility, right? So
I'll give it to him.
I don't know how the fuck to pronunciate this name. Just stating that for the record. No idea.
Okay. I thought it was like the first part of his name. I'm like, I'm interested to see where this name is going, but
no. So he notes that this player could have a similar draft trajectory as Christian Watson from last year, your guy after the draft, Christian Watson, who shot up draft boards towards the end of the pre-draft cycle. Mm-hmm. So he thinks that it's Princeton wide receiver Andre Iosivas. Yes. Princeton wide receiver Andre Iosivas.
Now, the number one Princeton player that I can think of off the top of my head is Chad Kanoff, but wow. Now we got a Princeton receiver? Okay. Do you have any projections on him right now? Like where he might go?
Currently, he's 6'3", 200 pounds, has 4.2 speed. So a blazer, 4.2. And apparently, as stated by Jacob Infante, quote, he's a moldable ball of clay. However high you have him, it is not high enough.
I like that. That's
a potential nice riser to look at. Andre Iosivas.
Yeah, no. I do think just based off what you told me, I can already see some Christian Watson comparisons there. Tall receiver, very fast.
Random
place. I mean, North Dakota State's a little more well known for their football, like in recent years, but
not FBS,
not from big name D1 schools. Like I get that, so that's a guy I'll keep my eye on. I mean, shit, at this rate, probably wouldn't be surprised he got drafted over JSN because JSN's apparently like a 9th round receiver. So
I mean, yeah. Somebody's gonna have to take a flyer on him in the 7th round. I mean,
yeah, someone's got to take a massive risk on Jackson Smith. God, such a liability.
I mean, he does bring the whole team down, apparently.
God, literally. I mean, he's the worst teammate out there. Everyone hates him in the locker room.
Somehow managed to be worse than Zach Wilson, apparently. That's what it sounds like.
I'm just saying, like, when Garrett and Olave were at Ohio State, there's an interview of Herb Street asking all three of them who's the best receiver out of Garrett, Olave, JSN, and Olave and Garrett both with zero hesitation are both like Jackson. Zero hesitation, like hit him. So I've never seen like Ohio State players, they always want to help their boys talk them up. But I've never seen like 2 first-round receivers both immediately go, Jackson.
Yeah.
That was crazy to me. So obviously they could have just been homing up and hyping up Jackson.
Okay, so now we can transition to the NFL here. One thing that we forgot to state, by the way, just from the games last week, and this goes into my tackle list. Okay. The reason why Trent Williams is number 1, besides obviously being the best tackle in the NFL, he picked up a safety with one hand and threw him to the ground. If that doesn't tell you who should be the number 1 tackle in the NFL, I don't think anything else will.
Also in my tackle rankings, I count attitude, swagger, personality, and there is no more entertaining tackle to watch than Trent Williams in the NFL. There is no
maybe
play against the Eagles when he like body slammed that dude. Yeah. It's a show. You got to be watching.
Penei Sewell with his receiving abilities. But
I think if we give him some time, we can see more antics from Sewell. I think right now, though, Dan Campbell runs a tight ship. He's not letting Sewell get off the rails, if you know what I mean.
It's not biting kneecaps yet.
Yeah, but I was kind of shocked to see how crazy good that TikTok did. We also just hit 5,000 followers on TikTok, everybody. Thank you so much for all the support and love.
We're over 5,000 now.
Yeah, we're over 5,000 now. If you aren't following us now, you better do it before it's too late. You want to be one of our early followers. You don't want to be one of those guys who shows up late when we already have 8 billion
I want you
get on the train now.
I want you to be one of those people that comments on our TikToks when we're having multi-million followers being like, hey, you remember me? I've been here since like 5,000.
I've been here since 5,000 followers. Like you
be one of those guys.
Yeah.
Be one of them.
You guys have an opportunity here. You guys really have a golden opportunity in front of you. And you guys can't let this slip. But the big news today that deeply emotionally impacted me as a lifelong Chargers fan, Sean Payton to the Broncos. And of course, it had to be a divisional rival, like of fucking course. Sean Payton to the Broncos for a first-round pick this year, a second-round pick next year, and the Broncos will receive a Saints 2024 third-round pick in return.
So they don't have a first-round pick next year, right?
The Broncos or Saints?
The Broncos. I don't think so.
Next year they could.
I think they gave that up for Russ, though. I think they gave up 3 firsts.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. I saw the breakdown. The Broncos over the past 2 off seasons have given up 3 firsts and 3 second-round picks.
I have a quick question, by the way. Just a real quick question.
Okay.
So the Broncos got the pick from Miami, right? That's the pick they traded, I believe, right? You said it was the Bradley Chubb trade. That was the first rounder that they got.
I'm pretty sure that actually what ended up happening, the pick they traded was who the fuck is 31? It was the Chiefs or Eagles. That was ended up being the pick that they traded. The Dolphins, their first rounder this year was
yeah. So let me finish, but let me finish.
Because their owner.
Yeah. So let me finish.
Actually moved up.
Let me finish. This was my thought. So, but the pick that they got for Bradley Chubb was
I'm pretty sure that's next year. Actually, I think that's for next year's first, because they didn't get the Dolphins first rounder this year because the Dolphins
had 2 first rounders.
I was just looking through some NFL mock draft thing. Their 21st pick got.
Yeah, I know, but you're not letting me finish my point though. I'm pretty sure the Dolphins had 2 first rounders. Okay, I think they gave up one of those to the Broncos for Bradley Chubb. All right, that first rounder came from a different team. Now, if technically speaking, if the Dolphins had given up their own pick for Bradley Chubb, would the Broncos pick that they got technically be disqualified because it's the Dolphins pick and the Dolphins would have a pick because it's a different team's pick?
No, yes, yeah. But I think like when the trade just happened, like they knew, or when the Bradley Chubb trade happened, the Dolphins had already lost their first rounder.
No, I know, but I'm just thinking conspiracy theory.
No. Like also this begs another question. Let's say they make the Bradley Chubb trade, and then 2 weeks later, the investigation comes out on Stephen Ross. He's also a Michigan booster, so that's why I know this. But let's say that happens after they make the trade. The league, no, they would just ban their first rounder for the year after.
That'd probably, yeah.
I was about to say, like, wait a second, could the Broncos
they duped the league?
I'm like, wait, no, they can't. Wait. Like, you're positive they had 2 firsts this year? Because
I'm pretty sure that's what
it's the first round next year.
Well,
that the Broncos end up getting, because originally Denver's first round pick, they gave that to Seattle.
2023 first round pick. They traded a 2023 first round pick.
Okay, so the Saints have San Francisco's 30th pick in the draft. It's not showing me where that came from before, but I'm going to assume that the Broncos had that San Francisco first rounder, then traded that to the Saints. Because how else?
That was the pick that they traded up for Trey Lance.
That was the pick that they traded up
for Trey Lance. That was the pick they traded up for Trey Lance.
That makes sense. Then.
I think that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. That adds up.
Okay. Now we've got that clarified.
Yeah. No. I mean, right. We had to think that through because I'm not gonna lie, that would have bugged me. But yeah, Sean Payton to the Broncos. Everett, I said I thought Russell Wilson hit rock bottom in the second to last week of the season, and then he beat my Bolts last week of the season. But I said I thought he hit. Yeah. Fuck yeah, I'm nervous. That's Sean Payton. Yeah, I'm nervous. And the Chargers window is closing. So we might only got like 2 more years left with like some of these big boys on contract still. And playing well. Keep that. It
also depends how long Brandon Staley's there for, but yeah.
But it's also now Sean Payton of the Chargers. Toss that plan out the window.
Yeah, well, maybe
unless he doesn't re-sign to the Broncos, which I would think would be nuts. But
that would be such. Imagine he doesn't re-sign and he goes back to the Saints.
He's just playing fucking chess.
Literally just 4D chess.
3 years ahead. All right. Let me set up my Saints when I take over in 2027. All right.
4D chess.
Let me think
he's getting first rounders. He's going to start trading the Broncos roster to the Saints. Next year.
And then Russ will be a free agent and then the Saints will sign him. Hey, I'm just saying.
4D chess.
I'm just thinking out loud here. But yeah, Sean Payton to the Broncos. I am concerned about that. Now, other than God bless his heart, but other than Josh McDaniels in Oakland, there's some coaching competition, the AFC best, and Brandon Staley, I guess.
Well, you say Josh McDaniels right now until they sign Tom Brady.
That's also still on the table. Okay,
then that becomes an issue.
God, how funny would it be if the Chargers just hired Josh McDaniels as OC?
Then you're playing against Tom Brady, Russell Wilson with Sean Payton, and Patrick Mahomes.
Dude, what the?
You're fucked, dude.
Dude. We're so
good luck making the playoffs, man.
We're so fucked, bro. The Chargers are so fucked, dude. Holy shit, bro. Tom, please do not go. Well, I guess Niners is home, but Las Vegas is like his second home.
Well, here's the thing. So Brock Purdy has a UCL injury, UCL tear, I believe, is what it is.
I just think Kyle Shanahan would just say to Brady, we're not doing
No. Trust me.
You think Shanahan would want it?
Yes.
You think?
Yes. Give me fucking Tom Brady for a year. My man is fucking Iron Man.
What I was thinking with the Niners and how they went with Lance, my thought, when just looking back to Garoppolo, it's like, what did Garoppolo not give you that the 49ers offense could have really benefited from? Like a fucking running threat.
No, yeah, obviously.
Having a running threat back, like,
this is my point.
I wonder if Trey Lance was fully healthy, that Niners offense.
This is my point, though. Like, Brock Purdy is going to be out for 6 months, and I think that's if there's not surgery or depending how surgery goes. So he's either going to be back in August, like at the start of the season, or he's not going to be ready. Trey Lance will be back, but we've seen minimal for Trey Lance. They want to run with Brock Purdy as their quarterback. Trey Lance has value right now. Could have higher value, could get worse value if you play him. So they might trade him. Jimmy G's gone. Why not sign?
Jimmy G's a free agent, right?
Yeah. Why not sign Tom Brady for a year? He's always wanted to be a 49er. He would be a great mentor to Brock Purdy.
I don't think he'd be mentoring shit.
He would 100%. That's and his age now, it doesn't matter if he's mentoring or not, or if his intention is to mentor or not. Brock Purdy just has to sit there with the iPad and watch film and watch Brady play and how he goes through things.
No,
it's mentality.
He'll lead by examples.
That's more what I meant about mentoring. But like, let him be there. I mean, if Brock Purdy's not going to be ready, let him be there for a year. Tom Brady's always wanted to be a 49ers. He wants to win a ring. You have the O-line to support him. You have the weapons to support him, the defense to support him, assuming the defense is still good without D'Amico Ryans.
I want to go there.
If I'm Kyle Shanahan, the only downside is Tom Brady's not mobile.
I just feel like part of me thinks like if they didn't do it, 3-4 years ago, I understand it was very different, their quarterback situation. Yes. Like Garoppolo was like inked up. Like I understand that. You know what? Maybe.
I think that they should still.
I'd rather have that than the fucking Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they should still rep Brock Purdy, but assuming he's not ready, I would consider that as an option. If he has to start up on the PUP list, the IR list or something like that, I'd consider it. But I think Brock Purdy's their guy now. I think that he is their potential franchise quarterback from what it's looked like this year. So I don't know if they're going to be willing to go in that direction. But if they do go in a direction where they're trying to get another quarterback in the house, Tom Brady's not a bad guy to get.
No, I mean, I'd be a fan of it. I don't know their like cap space and structure.
I haven't done the money. I haven't done their offseason yet, so I don't know.
If I remember correctly, the Niners are like top 10 in available cap space for next season. So like they got some room.
That's actually really fucking surprising.
Yeah. No. Well, also keep in mind like Nick Bosa's still on his rookie
deal. Also by the way,
the books. Like
by the way, if Brock Purdy is their quarterback, right?
They can go splash out and get like a big.
No, well, yeah, that's one thing that they're on the rookie deals, right? But Brock Purdy is on the most minimum contract physically literally possible. And it's for 4 years.
For a drafted player, literally.
I'm pretty sure it's still for 4 years too. So
I'm pretty sure.
He's getting like
NFL rookie contracts are 4 years.
He's getting like $100,000 a year, if that, for 4 years. Literally
it might be a little more than that.
The 49ers literally could not have gotten themselves into a better situation cap-wise at the quarterback position than what they have right now. Literally getting the last physical pick in the NFL draft.
Actually $100K.
Getting the last pick in the NFL draft to be your starting quarterback for your franchise. I mean, yeah.
No, impressive. He signed a 4-year, $3.7 million contract.
So it's like what?
$925 a year. That's pretty cheap. We'll
that's cheaper than most free agents that are dirt.
Yeah, the thing though is I don't know if the Niners are fed up with the poor quarterback play. If they want to get a dynamic guy back there, maybe they are.
But Brock Purdy is dynamic. He's like an improviser.
Okay. Well, we could chill.
He can. He's not like a running like dominant quarterback.
No, I'm not
Justin
saying that.
Fields.
No.
But
I'm
he's
not even talking that. I'm talking like a fucking take over the game. I'm gonna go win you this shit.
But he's not
Brock
gonna make.
Purdy's the perfect example of a win with, not a win because. Like,
dude, you're forgetting that he's a rookie, played 4 games in the regular season, 5 games in the regular season.
Okay, I'm aware, but
you can't like we haven't had it. It's a small sample size.
Jones, is he a win because or a win with? I'm just.
But you're making that assumption after 2-3 years of play. It's a complete different situation between Mac Jones and Brock Purdy.
I'm not sure how much better. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if Brock Purdy's gonna like become. I don't fucking know.
No one knows, and that's my point, though. You don't know because he's played 4 games, 5 games in the regular season.
Well, this is the thing. Like in those games, I'm gonna be honest. Like I was after a while. Like in that first playoff game, people were fucking like jerking him off over like overthrowing and missing a throw.
But also like this is my second point though. When Jimmy Garoppolo got traded,
I love the story.
When Jimmy Garoppolo got traded to the 49ers, okay, he was undefeated as a starter, finished the season undefeated as a starter, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, he's gonna carry them to victory. Like he's gonna be the guy." Guess what fucking happened, right? Jimmy G, not the guy to carry them to victory. So my point is, you can make
Brock Purdy becomes Jimmy G. That's not a win for the Niners.
Let me finish. Am I allowed to make my point?
Keep going.
The point is, you're making these assumptions you're making these assumptions with a small sample size. People made the assumptions about Jimmy G with a small sample size, thought that he was going to be great, wasn't as great. You're making the assumption that Brock Purdy's not going to be great. He could be great. We've had a small sample size. You don't know. We will know next year.
Okay, but this is the thing though, Everett. let's just start with this. Do you actually think it is possible for Brock Purdy to make a jump and be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL next year?
Next season? Coming off a UCL injury? No. Coming off a UCL injury?
Do you think that is possible?
I think that it's possible at some point given development. Like, it's also the same thing. Dak Prescott, 4th round pick. Tom Brady.
This is something
6th round pick.
This is something that I want to bring up that you've been harping about, not harping, but you say this a lot, and I feel like I disagree with you on this. I feel like you have an opinion that a lot of times, like, we can develop these guys and over time they'll become like pretty fucking, or they could become good. They can become good. I'm not talking Brock Purdy specifically, but I don't know. For example, I can't even think of a exact example off the top of my head, but okay.
Not having an example doesn't help your case.
No. It doesn't. But I've heard a lot of interviews with former players or current NFL players, a lot of Ohio State players. They like to talk about how when they go to the NFL, their coaches are 80 times worse than what they had in college. And it's not just Ohio State, but it's a lot of schools where they're talking about how when they get to the NFL, that coach, their number one priority isn't necessarily developing you and like 3 or 4 years down the line will get you to the best you could be. But like for a lot of those position coaches, like your priority is like, I need to keep my job for next season. How am I going to do that? If I'm a corner coach, I don't know why I just thought about this. If I'm a DB coach, how am I going to stay on staff next year? Our defense better rank like, I don't know, fucking top 15 or whatever in pass defense. I don't know how much they really like.
That doesn't make any sense though, because if you want
developing
if you want
path to developing a 6th pick, like you want
if you want to have your job retained, especially in the current NFL, I don't know when the fuck those interviews were from, but if you want to retain your job
recently, like there, JSN
but those
and Garrett, or not JSN, but Garrett and Olave, you're talking about like, whoever the fuck, I don't even know their receiver coaches now, but they're not Brian Hartline.
You're also comparing. You're also
both saying there like Larry Johnson. I learned more from that man than anyone I've worked with.
You're comparing these coaches to coaches that are the best in their profession. Brian Hartline is the best wide receiver coach in college football. You said yourself, he could be a wide receiver coach. He could be an offensive coordinator in the NFL. You said that.
I'm not sure if Brian Hartline is quite ready for an offense coordinator. He's an offense coordinator at Ohio State, but I'm not actually sold that. Wide receiver coach NFL. Fuck yeah. I think he'd be the best wide receiver coach in the NFL.
The same thing with Larry.
Ohio State player said that too.
But this is the same thing but that's my point. Let me finish. No. I'm not done.
Okay, go on.
So you're comparing these players that are coming from programs who have the top coaches in their development at that level, who could be top coaches in the NFL level but choose not to, are comparing them, including these players are going to teams. Garrett, Olave went to teams that are not known for their wide receiver core, for having a good wide receiver core. They're there because the wide receiver core is dog shit.
The Saints.
No, it's dog shit.
Solid receivers. I know right now, but
that's my point. The current coach that they have is the same dude that's been developing those dog shit wide receivers. The reason it's dog shit. So you can't really compare it that way. Also, currently, like a lot of those position coaches are like, I want to keep my job, right? I'm going to keep my job as long as we're in this top range for my position group. The way that they get
I don't know exactly how the fuck that works,
but still that mentality of wanting to keep my job because like we want to be in this range, right? Is by developing these players, because you develop players not only over years, but you develop them in season. You review film, you look at what they're not doing right. So that way, when they go into the next game, it's fixed. So it's not an issue. That's development.
But the thing is, it's like, okay.
I'm not going to lie. Like,
this is the difference. Your term of development, you're including just like fucking teaching them the concept and learning how to like run, I don't know, fucking a coverage.
I'm
more so from the fact of like, I thought you were just saying like on a week to week, like if they make a mistake.
I'm including that process, but by the way that you said it was making it seem like they're learning how to read, coverages.
This is the thing. Like, okay, for example, I feel like a lot of these players either fucking you kind of okay. I'm thinking receiver. I need to stop thinking receiver. Garrett is different. Olave is different. Okay, they're outliers. Okay. The original argument that we were making was about positional coaches.
Was about Brock Purdy. Because you asked me if I thought Brock Purdy could develop, and I said that I think over time is possible.
Okay. Brock Purdy, I'm going to go out and say I don't think he can ever develop to be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Just from literally what I saw in that first season, I don't think that to become a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, I feel like there's some certain just physical traits you got to have, which I'm not sure Purdy has.
Yeah, no, I agree.
What I was also thinking and getting at, like, if I'm the Niners, and specifically when I look at their window they have right now, you have Bosa on his rookie deal. You have guys locked up for relatively cheap. Well, I mean, Trent, they're probably paying what, fucking $80 million a year? I don't fucking know. But with this window they have right now, I mean, I was obviously exaggerating, but shit, Trent should probably earn 50 a year. But with this window they have right now, and if I'm looking at from the 49ers owner perspective, am I cool with just rolling out a Brock Purdy
I could
go get?
And you know why I would be though? Because that's so much less money that I'm spending.
No. Forget around. Forget that. I'm just saying, like,
if you're asking,
if you keep Brock Purdy right now, okay, you keep Brock Purdy, and let's say that'll just take you to what, NFC Championship game L.
Well, he didn't fucking play in the championship game, so we don't know.
No, okay, fair enough. I do.
He got hurt on the first drive.
True, that is very true. But I did bet on the Niners.
Well, also, we both can agree. We both can agree that over the game span, especially including the playoffs, when he played, there's a couple balls and he looked like a rookie because he is a rookie. There were a couple balls that weren't placed well, like
true,
But overall, the performance that he gave, that the offense gave, was looking like one that would be able to take the Eagles to their limits and take the 49ers to the Super Bowl.
Okay. Yeah. I have a feeling Jimmy G to Brock Purdy. I feel like we've seen this story. I feel like there's just a big limit on the upside for the 49ers offense with Purdy in charge. I'm not saying Jimmy G's the answer.
I think that from what it looked like from my perspective, Brock Purdy and Jimmy G this year looked very similar when they played. And that's a positive for Brock Purdy because this is his first year playing, which means if he develops properly, if he comes back from this UCL injury properly, which we have yet to see because it also is in his throwing arm. So he could just be fucking dog shit after this for what we know. Because, I mean, it's pretty damn close to like Tommy John. So I would say that that's a win. And we'll have to see how it looks. Like, if you're going to ask me, would I rather have Brock Purdy next year or like Tom Brady or one of these veteran quarterbacks that can do it? We've seen them do it. I'm going to say the veteran because we've seen them do it, right? And this is their window. But if you're asking me who I'd like to have over the next 4 years and have them develop, I'm going to say Purdy, not only because of his contract situation, but because from the small sample size of what we've seen, we know that there is a possibility that he can become a top 15 quarterback. That he hasn't made the mistakes, especially characteristic of a rookie. He hasn't made the mistakes that cause your team to be in dire circumstances. This entire time that he's been playing, 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble on a UCL injury. That's very minimal turnover margins and a lot of touchdowns for a quarterback to step in the situation that he did.
I'll take that 100%. Don't get me wrong. I fear for the Niners that they have hit their ceiling and that
We also say
That's
that
what
every
I'm more
time
so
about
fear.
we say that every
That's what I'm
season
more
about the
so-
Niners, though, to be fair.
But I feel like that is very true. We do say that. We do say that every season.
All these players, you
I
said
don't
that
know.
you said that they have
weird.
some of the best.
I'm just like shocked.
But
I'm
you've
still, like,
said
kind of shocked.
You've said they've had some of the best cap space in the NFL this year. They have Nick Bosa on his rookie deal. Kittle's still going to be there. Trent Williams still got a year or two left. Mike McGlinchey probably should be in fucking prison, but that's a side story.
Yeah, I think we gotta chill with all the prison. I think we've sentenced 18 people to prison this year, so we could probably tone that down.
Going back to completely far back. Okay. We said we might forget
Payton to the Broncos.
We said we might forget about this, and I'm making sure
Dawand
we don't.
Jones.
No, I'm making sure we don't. Today we saw the battle of two greats. Well, I don't know if I'd call one of them greats, but one great and one okay. NFL insiders.
Oh yeah.
Ian Rapoport versus
Schefty.
Can
I while you pull this up, I need to.
So Adam Schefter tweeted out at 1:55. Ian Rapoport beat him by 13 minutes, posted at 1:42. Ian Rapoport said that the Broncos tried multiple times to hire and contact D'Amico Ryans this week before the Texans, before he ultimately recommitted to the Texans. Once he signed with the Texans, the Broncos immediately moved to go and get Sean Payton. Adam Schefter said that the two hires were completely coincidental. Broncos had already zeroed in on Sean Payton, and they had not made any effort to contact D'Amico Ryans or his agents this week, which I call bullshit on. I fully am in support of Ian Rapoport. I mean, Ian Rapoport does not miss. Ian Rapoport does not miss.
When it comes to Adam Schefter, my personal opinions of him have been significantly swayed over the past. Well, first, he's a Michigan man. And second, when Dwayne Haskins passed away, he decided to have quite a deprecating caption, or I don't know, a quick description of his death. So after that, every time I mean, since then, I turned off my Adam Schefter notification. I didn't follow him because I still got to know what he tweets out, but he does not have notifications on for me anymore. Those aren't not at the top of my priority.
I also like Ian Rapoport has also fully made fun of Adam Schefter before and other NFL insiders for not actually having the proper sources that Rap does. And not only did Rap beat fucking Schefter by like
Schefter's also a Broncos
13 minutes, but we know that the Broncos have interviewed D'Amico Ryans and have communicated with him.
Mm-hmm.
And do we really think that the Broncos would not fucking contact the number one head coaching candidate in all of the NFL this year?
Like,
what the fuck are we talking about?
It's also, I don't have too much to say about Schefter. I think we just got that all out. But it's like, he is a Broncos fan, apparently. He is a Denver fan. So he got beat on that for his own team. I feel like Schefter might have like purposely knew Rap Sheet tweet that out, and then he just tweeted just to generate interactions like Rap had it first.
Yeah, but he's still getting those interactions.
The one thing I will respect both Rap and Schefty for, they do a pretty good job of not blocking people in their replies. I'm not going to disclose this, but my older brother has a burner account, and he was promptly blocked by Woj after saying Shams beat you multiple times. So Woj is a little more sensitive to that, but I will give Rap Sheet and Schefty a shout out because they are not at, well, I guess Rap Sheet doesn't get called out for it. It's pretty much.
Also, I'm very surprised. Like normally Adam Schefter
Woj is a blocker.
Normally Rapoport gets out info first. Sometimes Schefty beats him to it, but normally Rap gets info out first.
And it's also, this is just
anything. But also
Rap working for NFL now, like that feels a little more official.
He technically does, and I think he's a liaison, like to other just general.
They just market him as like he has the NFL logo in his profile picture. I mean, shit, doesn't get more official than that.
But Rap normally beats Schefter to begin with, but normally Schefter's like a minute, maybe 2 behind, if that. Like every single time something happens, it's always that. Like they're
100%.
really close together. The fact that Adam Schefter tweeted out like 15 minutes later, to me, is a little suspicious.
Yeah, no. I swear he read Rap's fucking tweet.
He was like, nah, we're not having this shit.
How am I gonna like word this in a way? I don't know. But I'm just waiting for the day that Shams starts dropping NFL Woj bombs, because Shams somehow is plugged. He's plugged everywhere.
He's plugged.
I'm pretty sure Shams broke that Trump had COVID. Like, dude, Shams is just dropping every Woj bomb. Like, how did he figure that out?
Bro's beating like CNN and shit. Like, he's tapped.
No, literally dropped the president had COVID. Like, how the fuck did you find that out? But no, yeah, I mean, we had a classic classic debate.
I mean, we all know that we all
for this next post, but
we all do know that Waterboy Analytics would have beaten both of them. So,
too bad our unpaid intern wasn't on the ball, but like he should have beaten them, but he fucking.
This is why he's unpaid and unnamed.
Yeah, that's why he gets.
He also he is still fucking off the grid, which is also an issue.
No, off the grid.
We have not been able to contact him for like weeks.
Yeah, we've been giving him 0 love. And speaking of organizations that give their coaches 0 love, the Texans, after firing Lovie Smith for just bullshit reasons, they just hired DeMeco Ryans on a 6-year deal. Now, correct me if I'm wrong in this, Everett, but didn't DeMeco Ryans say no to the Broncos? And then what other team was he like, we're done talking, I'm not considering you? Wasn't it down to
Colts?
3 teams for him?
Panthers?
It might have been
one of those.
I don't think it was the Panthers.
Probably the Colts then.
I think it was
because the Colts haven't hired anybody yet.
Yeah, no, they haven't. So,
no, maybe it was the Cardinals. It could have been the Cardinals.
Actually, I think that was what it was. I think it was the Cardinals.
I think it was them. Yeah.
But now that I think about it, if I'm DeMeco Everett, explain to me this. I put the Texans as the last destination I would like to go to if I was an.
Remember, I put them at number 2 when we were talking. I put them at 2.
Sell me on this. Like, get me on board, because I am not on board with this decision by DeMeco
Nick
Ryans.
Caserio or Caserio, whatever the fuck his last name is. Caserio, Caserio.
I'm bad with pronunciation.
Whatever. The bum ass GM for the Texans. All right. Yes. Am I nervous working for him or with him? Yeah. Has he made some pretty bone fucking headed decisions in the draft and free agency? Oh yeah.
One could say the deal.
But if I'm DeMeco Ryans, I'm signing that contract with the notion, intent, and understanding with the GM that I am making the decisions with my team. You do the paperwork, you talk to the players, contract negotiations. But I'm telling you what players that I want, and if you can't get them, I will tell you the next player that I want. And that's how I'm going through this rebuild. I have 6 seasons to rebuild this team from dog shit to mediocre, all right? Because that's how long it's going to take with the dumbassery that's already.
No, yeah. The thing is, okay, real quick, the Texans should give DeMeco Ryans full 6 season. I'm going to go on a limb and say after year 4, Texans are going to pull the plug and fire him. I'm going to call it now. They're going to do some dumbassery shit. They're going to pull the plug.
It's either year 4, they fire him, or they give him another like 4-year extension. It's one or the other.
Yeah. No. I feel like this is the toughest situation to like repair.
I mean, Robert Sull has done a pretty damn good job with the Jets, and that's what we said about him too. So I have hope.
No, that is I have hope. That I'll be honest. There should be a 30 for 30 on the. Now I know the Jets not like they're in the playoffs, but there should be a 30-30 on how they went from absolute ass to a competitor.
and had Zach Wilson on the roster at the same time.
Yeah, and
but
still
really,
on roster.
Realistically, it comes down to whether or not Nick Caserio is a dumb fuck or not. That's what it comes down to, because his dumbassery will get DeMeco Ryans fired. That's what will happen. So if I'm DeMeco, I have talent around that's developing. I have some talent on defense that's perspective, which is my forte, right? So I look at that. I'm like, all right, there's something I can work with here. Offense needs to be basically completely renovated and blown up. But I have a high draft pick. I have the number 2 draft pick. Okay. I know I'm going to have
and 12.
And 12. I know I'm going to have probably a pretty good draft pick next year. I'm going to try and win, but that doesn't mean I will. I've seen this team have heart.
Year one, I'm more of on the Dan Campbell route. It's about instilling that culture year one. I don't give a fuck what the win total is. We need to get everyone on board. Like
I am getting all the staffers that I want. I'm going to take some of the 49er staffers with me because we all know that they're going to be great.
He's going to poach someone for the 49ers and promote him as D coordinator. Like
and one for OC.
Like,
that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
He learned from Kevin O'Connell's mistakes. He learned that you need to take both OC and DC from the team that you left. So that, but overall, like cap space wise, potential wise, draft pick wise, everything stacks up for the Texans to be a great situation outside of your GM being a dumb fuck and your owners not really being the greatest owners in the NFL.
No, yeah, I think I don't know why, but I was under this impression that like this Texans GM has kind of had a little bit of a reputation. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want. Bill O'Brien.
Well, yeah, he has fired 2 coaches back to back.
No, yeah. So there's a little bit of that reputation. I was a little bit concerned from that angle, and this is a funny example, and I'm bringing it up on purpose. But when Urban Meyer signed to the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm not sure exactly. I don't have proof of this, but I know that Urban Meyer had significant influence in like their draft process.
Well, yeah, they picked ETN with James Robinson.
Took ETN, and then they took an Ohio State tight end like round 4, Luke Fickell, which like I was shocked that he went there. But I was like, okay, the Luke Fickell pick, I was like, okay, clearly Urban had fat influence on this draft class.
He got Carlos Hyde.
Yep, too. Signed Hyde, another Ohio State guy. Like, I think
Tim Tebow. And Tim Tebow.
Oh yeah, fuck! I forgot about that. They signed Tebow. That's how we knew it was over. That's how we knew it was over before it started. When he signed Tim Tebow, like completely serious. Like
no, dead serious. He might be our tight end 1 for this team.
Yeah. Okay. That's how you knew the wheels were falling off. But I wouldn't be surprised if D'Amico Ryans had a nice sit down with the owner. Like, hey. Like this is like a 60-40 split, 60 head coach influence, 40 GM influence on these picks and free agent pickups.
See, like the thing is like
Ryans would need that written in ink.
D'Amico also definitely doesn't want to have like the Bill O'Brien or Bill Belichick route where it's like you're in charge of everything because that's a lot more stress for a first year head coach.
Yeah, that's
a lot of shit. Yeah. But being in control of the roster and choosing who you draft and pick
roster influence,
is something that I expect to be given to him because that's how you rebuild a team.
Yeah, and I even think of just like good coach GM relationships, like McVay and Les Snead in LA, like they're on the same page with all their shit. Let's think of a team where their GM and coach aren't on the same page. Oh yeah, Tennessee Titans and the GM's out. So I do think the coach.
I honestly do think that if this season goes to dog shit and like the players that are drafted and picked really don't turn out, D'Amico Ryans will stay obviously. But I think that if you've already blown through 2 head coaches and you have another dog shit year,
I know
GM's out.
The GM has to go.
The GM has to go.
I would be surprised if the Texans do some dumbassery. And if D'Amico Ryans goes, 3-14, 4-13 his first few years, I swear, if the Texans pull the plug and fire him, they should disband the franchise from the league.
Like, for real though.
Honestly, it's also really impressive that Bill O'Brien actually built the Texans a little bit up and went to 3 straight playoffs. That's very impressive.
They need a quarterback first. Davis Mills, not the guy.
Dude, Davis Mills. I'm still, gosh, Davis.
Remember that TikTok at the start of the season about Davis Mills? Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing makes me happier than that Zach Wilson take. I mean, people were clowning me. Garrett Wilson did downgrade at quarterback by leaving Ohio State. That's just fact.
Mike White came and saved his fucking life. That is what happens. His career. And Joe Flacco. Yeah. Well,
dude, people forget. I swear, if Flacco doesn't come in week 2, Garrett might not get more than 50 targets the whole season. He might have just been phased out. But okay.
All right.
Last big.
I have the Dolphins offseason. Oh no. I have the Dolphins offseason that we can wrap up with too, unless you have something else you want to talk about.
No, I just want quickly bring up Lamar Jackson franchise tag by Ravens. My first thought was like, is there any chance Lamar pulls a Le'Veon? Is there any chance?
I do think that it's possible, but I doubt it. Lamar's probably not happy.
Oh God, no. Yeah,
but I would rather get franchise tag for 1 year. The thing with Le'Veon Bell is he was franchise tag like 4 years in a row. So if I get franchise
running back, quarterback,
if I get franchise, also I don't know if Lamar has to sign it, but if I get
that was another question I had. Does he have to sign it?
I think if he doesn't sign it, he can't play and he can't sign with another team.
Yeah. But I think the power's in the team. Like if we franchise tag you, we own you for another year. You're under contract with us.
Yeah, but they just have to pay a fuck ton of money.
No, I know.
So, I mean, I'm
pretty sure they said Lamar's would be the fattest. I mean, it'd be the
like
fattest,
45, 50 million ever. Or some shit.
Yeah.
That's a heinous contract for 1 year. Oh my God.
And I'm pretty sure it's fully guaranteed if you no, Le'Veon, it is not. What am I saying? Maybe if you make the roster, it is. I don't know.
It could also be different for position groups. But I think that there's a possibility. There's a possibility that he pulls Le'Veon Bell. I don't think so, but it's not out of the cards. They probably are just franchise tagging him to extend him and give him an extension after, just because the negotiations won't be done in time. They want to ensure that he's still there.
Quick last thought. If Lamar goes out, plays really well next year, does get hurt, is there any % chance the Ravens don't try to re-sign him? Is there any % chance?
If they don't have the cap.
Okay. I don't, well, shit. After that Roquan Smith contract, they might not have the cap. So we'll see. If I was Lamar's agent, the second Roquan signed that like 5-year, 60-year deal, I would have been like, all right, we're out, guys. See ya.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
New York.
Jets could use him.
No, yeah. That's all I had though, but I am switching to the Eagles.
But they also, by the way, just a sneaky thing that could happen is a tag and trade. The Ravens could have tagged Lamar Jackson and intend on trading him.
Now, this is something that is just way more common in the NBA, the sign and trades, but like
the tag and trade, the Ravens could have franchise tag Lamar to be able to get picks for him and value back for a team that would be needing, like the Jets, for reference. Getting multiple first-round picks back for a player that is on a contract and can be assigned to an extension.
Okay,
that's some leverage.
I'm right about this. Didn't the Jets trade for Le'Veon? Why do I remember that they traded for him and not free?
No, he's signing free agency.
He sat out
the whole year because he didn't get traded by the deadline. He sat out the whole year.
Okay, it is. Le'Veon Bell is 30 years old
and out of the league.
I know. Just think about that, though.
Think about how good he was, too, by the way.
He graduated college in 2012. Like, Jesus. Oh, my God. Le'Veon Bell a name? Well, okay. I'm looking at, he's only had 3 1,000-yard rushing season. That's a name that we're just going to forget.
Which says a lot. Most people probably already have forgotten about him. Like, I wasn't thinking about him until you just brought him up.
Like, I'm like him, like David Johnson. The hell happened, man? He had like the most goated fantasy season ever, and then just got ran into the dirt, I guess.
This is why we do not pay running backs a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say it, but I mean, look at like Alvin Kamara right now.
Zeke.
Shit. Other people. That's my baby, but yes. I mean, hey, you said trade Dalvin. I mean, is this generation of running backs that we've been watching for the past 5-6 years, are they done? Is it wraps?
It's the most replaceable position in the NFL.
Yeah, it's just sad.
Which says a lot when kickers come and go like every year. So,
yeah. God, honestly, the fact that Goatkowski did it for that long, that's the most impressive shit of all time. If you can kick for more than, fuck it, even 5 years, like the mental fortitude you need, absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I just gave a shout out to kickers. I never thought I'd see the day, especially after after this season.
let me just just in case we want to clip this Lamar Jackson theory, let me just say it perfectly, and then let's go into the Dolphins. The Ravens just franchise tag Lamar Jackson. Could the Ravens be concluding? Could the Ravens be what's a good word here? Conspiring.
I don't know what you're trying to say. Okay.
Could the Ravens be conspiring to tag and trade Lamar Jackson to a quarterback needy team for multiple first-round picks and assets they wouldn't get otherwise?
I just need to look up, can you trade a player on a franchise?
Yes.
I bet you can.
Yes. Tag and trade.
No.
You can't?
Trade.
Oh.
In order for a player to be traded, they would have to be on contract and put on the active roster. Since a franchise player is technically a free agent bound by the original team, they are not considered a sign. Oh, that's another thing. The fuck? Franchise tag, that doesn't count to salary cap.
Zach, what the fuck does it count to?
It doesn't. It doesn't count to salary cap.
What the fuck does it count towards? Just comes out of the owner's pocket?
Money.
You
just have the money.
I guess you only get one.
I knew that. That's what I want. No, you only get one. But like, I think it was Le'Veon Bell. Like, I was sitting there, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? 15 mil franchise dial? The fucking they even afford that? And it's just like,
maybe
that doesn't go to cap.
Maybe you can trade them in season. Maybe it's not in the off season. Like, it has to be the next year.
Maybe.
It has to be the next year that you can trade them.
I didn't know this loophole, but if you're franchise tagged, you're technically not under contract, which is a very weird loophole. Like, that's very strange.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. All right. Let's get to the Dolphins offseason here. And we'll wrap up with this.
We should add that to the offseason. Tag.
Just
fucking throw it in.
Well, like, I mean, you can do that.
Do you have to be a restricted free agent? Can you be?
No, you can be any free agent.
As long
as you have to play for that. But you have to pay them the most possible for their position. That's what happens, and you only get one. So sometimes it fucks shit. So I don't include it. I don't like using the franchise tag unless like you really have to, like you're trying to like hold the dude who wouldn't sign an extension. Because for the most part, you can. Somebody who will re-sign or sign an extension, you would be somebody you would use a franchise tag on.
Yeah, this is probably something I should ask the fucking sports business professor on, but yeah.
Okay. So, Dolphins
offseason for Dolphins.
Dolphins. We're going to the AFC South, East, AFC East. So, Dolphins have $16,453,222 in their cap space, according.
Real quick. Sorry to cut you off. When I make these TikToks, should I include the salary cap figure like on the TikTok post?
We can discuss that later.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's probably not the best time. Okay.
As you can see, the Waterboy is talking real time over business.
I want to give you guys the full deep dive analysis of what goes on.
This is what separates us from other podcasts. All right. You get to see the inside.
You get to see us make deals, make moves, make decisions.
We are Shark Tank.
Yes, I am Mark Cuban.
So Dolphins have $16,453,222 in the cap space, according to Over the Cap. You get $16 million on top of that for the increase in cap space. So they have $32.5 million technically. All right. Now with my restructures, they get another $13 million on top of that. And then they should get another about $9 million on top of that with my cut that I have. So in theory, they'll have about 45, maybe 50 something million dollars when it's all said and done. And that is the magic cap space for everybody who's watching the TikToks and not watching this and saying, why the fuck do they have all, like, how the fuck are they going to sign all these people? And this dude's playing Madden. This is how it works because you extend people and it kicks the cap down the line and you cut people and it gives you cap space. That's how it works. All right.
Also, like with the Bears offseason TikTok, like people are like, dude, he's playing Madden. It's like, Bro, if you have that much fucking money, they better be playing Madden.
Also, you have $100 million in cap space.
They better be playing fucking Madden.
You have $100 million in cap space. Why the fuck would you not want to sign all those free agents?
Yeah, well, I mean,
you're trying to make your team better. Like, also, some of those players might be depth signing because some of your rookies might be better, also, but you better have them at least.
Another thing, a lot of people are saying, like, people aren't going to want to sign with Chicago. Why the fuck? If you pay them enough money, they're coming.
Money talks.
Right? They're
money
coming,
talks.
Okay.
Money talks. All right. Are we ready for this?
Yes.
I think you're gonna enjoy. I think you're gonna enjoy this.
If everyone else is, but you know, this is courtesy of Stephen Ross. Shout out my Michigan man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your butts. All right, here we go.
Wow, pause for dramatic effect. Fuck. Oh, yeah. Okay. Really hyping this one up.
Dolphins
better be good. This better be good.
I have to cue a straight face though.
It's gonna be fucking amazing, man. You know, we got Dolphins fans in the comments and they're loud, all right? They'll come after you if they don't like it.
Dolphins offseason. Fire every fucking team doctor in the building. I know you. Okay. Resign Eric Rowe, Javon Christian, Jeff Wilson Jr., Brandon Shell, Landon Roberts, and Trey Flowers. Restructure, extend Christian Wilkins, Connor Williams, and Austin Jackson. Sign Jermaine Ifedi, Jacoby Brissett, Robert Tonyan, Bryce Callahan, and Rock Ya-Sin. And cut Byron Jones post June 1st. There you go.
All right. I'm going to be honest. I hate to admit it, but Bryce Callahan would be a really fucking nice pickup for the Dolphins. He'd be a really nice pickup.
Also, by the way, Byron Jones, so the big thing is you get dog shit, right? So you get a certain amount of cap alleviation if it's pre or post June 1st, all right?
Yeah.
Post June 1st, that's when
the deadline.
That's the next season. That's the start of the next season, okay? That's when it officially starts, so the cap moves on to the next year's cap.
Okay.
So,
all right. I think I got that.
For Byron Jones' contract, it's a post June 1st cut. They get, I think, $13 million in cap savings and a $4 million dead cap. So it's technically $9 million in savings against the cap.
Okay. For
somebody that was on IR all this year, didn't do jack shit while he's been on the Dolphins.
How much is he getting paid to?
Like $10 million a year. Rock Ya-Sin, by the way, Rock Ya-Sin went on IR this year with an injury, but beforehand, he was putting up about the same numbers as Shadarius Ward from the 49ers, at least the 2020-2021 season.
And I'll be honest, we forgot to give shout out to those DBs and
like, he was putting up basically, I think every time he was targeted, like the catch rate per target was like 60, I think, like a rating of 60. So that's pretty good overall. And he was playing a large volume of snaps before he got hurt. Rock Ya-Sin, Bryce Callahan, you can play him on the outside. Obviously, you have Xavier Howard there. The big thing is when extending Christian Wilkins, and I said restructure and extend. Basically,
he's already up on his rookie.
Well, so restructure and extend, like I don't mean literally restructuring their contract. It's because when you extend people, you basically get to have that like cap relief. You get to kick it down, and people don't understand that. So by extending Christian Wilkins, Connor Williams, and Austin Jackson, all they save that $13 million in cap space by extending them. Yes, it applies more down the line, but for this next year, I get to save that cap space, and obviously cap will increase after next year too. So hopefully by doing that, it shouldn't even be an issue because that extra cap space will allow me to hold on to those contracts for the players I just signed.
Okay.
I was also going to include
keep educating.
I was also going to include extend Tua because Tua is available for an extension, but I think we'd rather have him play out his 5th-year option. So he has one more year. I think this is year 3, right? This is year 3.
Yeah, and also just being dead serious, like Tua, like I genuinely like if he has one more concussion, like I actually think he's retiring because like that, like he went through a fucking world of hurt this year. Like,
yeah, my man's still in concussion protocol. It's January 31st. He last played like 2 months ago.
Yeah, dude, Tua. actually scary shit. Like even going back to what was it, like week 4 when the scary hit happened, then he got another concussion scare. So I think just from a Dolphins perspective, it'd be a little risky to re-sign.
No, yeah, I agree. But I do think that he could be possible, but let him play out the 4th year. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt by, firing all the doctors. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, that should just be, oh my God.
I'm also just gonna.
That's a great way to start.
I'm also just gonna restate the firing part. I'm gonna restate the firing part without saying fuck, because I don't think TikTok will be happy for that. So, fire every doctor in the fire every team doctor in the building. There. So I'm gonna have to use that one. But that's my Dolphins offseason.
I like your moves. I think Dolphins. How much longer does Tyreek have on this? Oh no, they extended him when they.
They extended him when they got it. So they will have a sizable amount of cap space too. Like already having 16 million, add another 16 on that. That's 32 out of 13 on top of that. It gives you 45. Add another 9 on top of that. You'll have what, 54? Probably 40, at least 45 before June 1st. But you'll have 54 after June 1st, assuming that none of it's been spent. So it's a decent amount. They should be able to sign all these players. And also all the players I'm having them sign, most of them pretty cheap contracts. Robert Tonyan, about $8 million a year for a tight end. Lose Mike Gesicki, but I mean, Robert Tonyan's not that bad. Jermaine Ifedi is a step up on
I also just don't think they utilize Gesicki like that well. And I just if I was the Dolphins,
they just need they use him in the red zone, and that's the same thing Robert Tonyan will be able to do. For cheaper, $2 million cheaper per year, actually. Jacoby Brissett, by the way, have him included. Obviously, they have Skylar Thompson there. Teddy Bridgewater is gone, but I think after what we've seen happen with the situation this year, they need a capable backup.
Teddy had a concussion too, right? That's out.
But they need a capable backup quarterback with experience who can lead a team when the quarterback's out. And we saw Jacoby Brissett do that with the Browns this year.
Nah, I'm a Jacoby Brissett stan. Okay, you won't ever see me criticizing Jacoby.
So
I put on for my NC State boys. All right, I put on for the Wolfpack.
But yeah, that is my Dolphins offseason for the 12 of you I've seen repeatedly comment for it. There you go.
Something we're going a little bit, but this is the last thing I want to bring up. I'm just looking at all the team salary caps. The Texans have about 40 million right now. You think D'Amico's talking to any Niners players right now, saying you want to come over with me
for a trade? I don't know.
No, I'm not sure.
There's not many free agents. There are not many free agents. I think that it's possible that they might pick up a few, maybe Emmanuel Mosley. But
I'm very interested to see what he does with his staff. How many Rams guys did KOC take? Do you know?
On offense, they took a decent amount.
A sizable. I'm
sizable
assuming.
Amount, yeah.
When I think
our OC,
any coaching change, you take your whole staff.
Kevin O'Connell, left as OC and then poached the quarterback coach and made him his OC.
Yeah, because you can promote the guys who are below you on the Rams, or KOC could promote those guys, put them in higher positions.
But he also was going to be promoted on the Rams, by the way, too. That was the deal.
Didn't know that. Ooh, yeah. So that guy just fucked with KOC more than that's what you're telling me.
Yeah. But all right, we've been rambling for a minute. I don't know how many people made it this far through the episode. It was a great episode,
I think
though.
We actually
round of applause for us.
Minutes ago.
Round of applause for us. We said episode 88. We were doing it. We're
throwing up the X for Dez, and we fucking
did it.
Thank you guys. A fucking 30-minute debate in there. Oh, you guys got content. Rewatch this for weeks to come.
Thank you guys so much for watching, listening. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify. You can find us on TikTok, YouTube, and on Twitter at WaterboyPod. Our handles right down below here. You can find us at Twitter there as well as TikTok. I guess Grant is Granch69 on TikTok, but you can find us here on Twitter with our handles down below. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Oh my God, us support. AD and LeBron dropped 28 and 27 tonight. Let's fucking go. Late show's back.
Look at that for episode 88. Just want to make a little appearance.
Watching for sure.
For sure. But just make sure you guys follow on Twitter, follow on TikTok, follow on YouTube, follow on Spotify. Make sure you like everything, comment everything. We want to see that interaction. You guys are what make us get through the day, what supports us, what shows that the content we're making matters. So continue to do that. But with that, Waterboys out.